When we get to Genesis chapter 12, verses 1 to 3, we find that God is now calling Abraham out of, his name is Avram at this point, out of Mesopotamia, moves up around the Fertile Crescent, as we mentioned at the beginning, and God gives him a promise. Genesis 12, 1 to 3, is generally known as the Abrahamic Promise. And the text says that he is to leave his country, his family, and his people, and go to the land that God will show him. And then God gives him a set of promises. There's actually two parts to it. Promise set number 1 says, I will make you into a great nation, and I will bless you. And I will make your name great, and you will be a blessing. The people that tried to build the tower were trying to make a name for themselves. So this is a clear antidote to the arrogance of the people building the tower. God is going to make Avram's name great. That comes from God himself. And Avram's blessing is going to also be for the world. It's going to be a blessing. Then promise set number 2, I will bless those who bless you, and I will curse those who curse you, and in you all the nations of the earth shall be blessed. The word for nations here is not the word goyim, which means large ethnic breakdown, but it means the tribal groups. So what we have here is that all the tribes of the earth are going to be blessed through the seed of Abraham. And when Jesus gives the Great Commission in the Gospels, go into all the nations and preach the gospel, the word for nations in Greek is the word ethne, where we get the word ethnic groups. And it's a reiteration of the mishpahot here in this text. And so it is for all the tribal groups of the earth. And ultimately, in the book of Revelation, God says that every tongue and tribe and language and nation, every tribal group is going to worship God on the final day. And so Genesis 12, verses 2 and 3 is God's plan for the world. God's going to make one man into a missionary nation that's going to break into all the arrogant peoples of the earth with the goal to reach them. So we see why God has broken the world up in these different languages. He has essentially done a divide-to-reach strategy. He has taken a large, impossible task and broken down into a bunch of doable tasks. And so the idea is that God is going to come to a people, evangelize through that people, but along the way he's going to send missionaries from that people to another people group. And that process is going to go on throughout history, and ultimately there's going to be a witness for Christ, worship of him in every people on earth.